Hey, Alpha fam, welcome back to another episode of Alpha Commission. Today on Alpha Commission, of course, we're going to go over that little bit of a pullback that is on the BTC chart. And if we do just head over to price action, we can see that we are still conforming to that projection that I had made a couple episodes ago, where you do see that we have grabbed that midline now, which we were targeting. Now, the question is, can we flip that and push up to perhaps that $28,000 level? Or are we going to get rejected here and come back to our lows, perhaps as low as 25,000? In our current orientation, of course, it's very difficult to tell, but we do have the Bollinger Band support on the daily underneath us. So unless we break pretty much below 26,300, 26,200, I would say that we're safely above the bottom half of the chart and that likely our continuation is to the upside. Now, that's the simplistic view. If you do want to go over our weekly indications here, our key levels from a couple weeks ago, probably back here in July, just at the end of July there, I did make a weekly momentum pool for you, where I did say that if we lose that pool, then most likely we were going to come down to test that weekly Bollinger Band somewhere around 27,000, and that we could even push as far as this alpha energy down here at 26,000, and that's exactly what we did. We did get a nice, it was a 12% drop, and then you can see where the floor was holding. Again, this was back in July when I made this projection, and of course, no one can see the future, whether we go up or down, but we did have our weekly volatility over our head. So this projection back here did work almost to the dollar accuracy, and you can see that our wick has just pushed us all the way back up to the alpha energy line there, and we currently are recontending with that neutral point of control at 27,000, that key number that I said that we do have to break. We had to hold 26,000, we have to break 27,000, and then if we can flip 28, then maybe this rodeo is back on. Guys, I do want to give you an update on that weekly. Here is the new projection. As you can see, we have a much fuller pool here, where if we do just swim around, we could come all the way up to a 27,831, where above that we flip the general continuation, and the MACD traders are going to be very happy. But until then, we do have the possibility of coming back and retesting support somewhere around 27,300, where we do have to hold 27,284 in order to flip this thing bullish, guys. Of course, that's not an easy feat, because we could be just getting rejected off of these diagonals over here, and so we are still on alert for some potential pullback, where this first candle might just be a fake out into this pool. But should we continue to push above these levels, above 27,284, above 27,319, then we are going to capture that big alpha energy to the upside. And last time we got rejected at that level down here at 26,000. So do we get accepted above 27,300, or is that just going to be a reflection point that just pushes us back down, perhaps for some type of W formation, maybe with a wick down to that bearish control zone? This is a very common thing to happen on charts. You can see that kind of W over here with that little wick right there that got bought up in the markets. And so we are still on alert for this potential pattern to play out here. But again, if we do flip that area above 27,320, then that is going to be a very strong sign. And then, of course, it's clenched after, really 28,000 if that holds. Guys, I think that, this just gives you a little bit of a mixed message here. We do want to point out that we are holding very strongly at that 25,832 level there. And so if we do lose that, we could see a wick all the way down to 23.7 as our next projected target on the weekly. But since this is a bit of a mixed message, we can look at the 5-day, which is also closing. And the 5-day is interesting. Look how flat the bottoms of these candles are, just showing just how strong that support has been, and that buy pressure right there with a nice deviation that does suggest that this thing may want to explore the upside. And this pool is a little bit more within reach here, somewhere around 27,220. But the key thing here is that our pivot is underneath us at 25,887. So this will continue to have pressure pressure to the upside. And that does suggest that at least on a 5-day basis, we're probably going to be able to make it to tag that volatility pivot on the next weekly chart. And then it's going to be the next weekly chart that's going to confirm whether this move is successful or not. But currently the 5-day has our back, and that will be closing in 3 hours. Guys, in order to flip the Bollinger Band on the 5-day, we are going to want to look to be above 27,390 with the big alpha energy above 27,420. So if we close that in the short term, then probably the weekly is not going to give us that much resistance. And then the area that we're going to be looking for above that is potentially that $31,000 area. So, do keep your options open here, and just understand that the 5-day volatility pivot is there at around 26,000, but $25,800 and some change. And then we could take a drop and explore the 24s and then potentially the 23s as downward pressure would continue on the weekly. That's going to be your alpha for the day. Stay safe and happy trading.